I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right.
Hello, I'm Ruby Gaming X, and today we're going to be discussing why I've decided to replace the heads on my Hiya Toys King Ghidorah figure. A lot of people have praised Hiya Toys for delivering one of the best King Ghidorah figures out there currently, especially when comparing this to Monster Arts. A lot of people have been questioning why I've done this. They don't see any differences between all the heads. They think it's very pointless. That's understandable to a certain degree because you own this figure, you haven't seen any better. I was able to notice the difference, especially because I own my own personal customized King Ghidorah set, and it's probably one of the best out there in terms of details, accuracy, and what it brings to the table when comparing this to Hiya Toys. Now, it's understandable that a lot of people love Hiya Toys, but for me, my personal figure, when I got it out of the box, had a lot of problems. Originally, the gums were a mess sticking out. I thought that the details could have been a lot better, especially comparing it to my 3D set, which it's a night and day difference once I point out the differences between the heads. So what's the benefit here? Overall, with this personal set, you can see a lot more details throughout the horns compared to Hiya Toys. While Hiya Toys, I felt that the horns were a little bit on the cheaper side. It's hard to define which head is supposed to be which one, even though each one is supposed to represent a different personality and design. With mine, everything is just more crispier. The nose has a lot more details underneath the mouth. Around the head, you can actually see the dragon-like scales throughout the gums, and especially the individual spikes on top of the head. With Hiya Toys, all three heads look very similar. With mine, every single head is different. If you look at it from the side and from the front view, you can definitely tell that every single head has a little bit of their own personality. Kevin has the broken horn. The overall sculpture is done different compared to the other heads. Now, also, something that's very important, this set has gravity beams. It comes with a deformed head. I think it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I want to make the Hiya Toys King Ghidorah figure look the absolute best when I have it in my hands? Why wouldn't I want crispier details, something that looks more accurate to what we saw in the film? Understandably, a lot of people love this figure because it's one of the best, if not the best, representation of King Ghidorah because of what Monster Arts has done in the past. And I get it, I also love the figure, but as a big fan of Gidorah, I absolutely had to make the ultimate set. And why wouldn't I? If I have the technology, I have the resources to print out those sets and make it the ultimate Gidorah figure of all time. And arguably, yes, a lot of people love the figure as it is, and I understand. But mine, as I mentioned, had a lot of personal problems. The gums just didn't fit. It kept on falling off. And even though I used a hair dryer, tried multiple times, it just wouldn't stay on. The overall system of articulation could have been a lot better in my opinion. And that is the power of 3D printing. So I printed a bigger version of one of the heads. I believe it's Kevin. And I'm going to compare this to the Hiya version. It's probably an unfair comparison because it's bigger. You're going to see more details. That should give you a better understanding of how much more details you actually get with those heads compared to what Hiya Toys has done. In my opinion, yes, Hiya Toys could have delivered a much better figure. In my defense, I'm doing this because I love the figure, and if I have the resources, the power to do it, I will do this to improve the figure. And we're already seeing a lot of people doing upgrades with the Hiya figures. A good example is Godzilla. The legendary version of Godzilla has been getting lots of modifications with the articulation on the waist, neck to provide a better motion overall, to have smooth articulation. Same thing applies for Rodan. In fact, on Facebook, I've seen somebody modify the whole neck system for the Hiya Toys King Ghidorah, and it's absolutely amazing. So why wouldn't you if you have the power, if you have the resources? Again, I think it's a no-brainer. And for a lot of people that question my decision, I simply don't answer to those comments because I know what I'm doing. I have experience and I know when I see something good in person. I have all three figures. I have Monster Arts, Hiya Toys. I have my personal set. And I can definitely see the difference between all three. All I can say, sometimes you don't know what you're missing until you have it in person and realize how much better this is compared to what you had before. That's all I can say. And I don't think any of this would be possible if we never had any 3D printers or the technology to do so. Very amazing, talented people out there. And that's my take. Unfortunately, I didn't get the best version of a Hayatoy King Ghidorah figure. I know there's variants. I've got a few comments of people saying that their figure was okay, that they didn't have any problems. On my end, I tried to resolve those issues. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. I'm assuming that I got a faulty figure with issues, and it's happened to me because if you recall, one of my figures, which is the Skullcrawler that I got from Hiya Toys, unfortunately, it had a duplicate elbow, which means I got the same elbow 2 times. It was supposed to be a left and right, and I believe I got 2 left elbows or something like that. It's crazy. So yeah, my luck with Hiya Toys has absolutely not been the best in terms of quality control. And I understand people can sort of see me as someone that complains, someone that thinks so much of himself, and that's not the case. I like to, have good figures. I like to have my money's worth if I can in any way, and if there's anything that I can do to improve that figure, I will do it. And it's okay if people don't see the difference. I understand that some people don't realize that each head for Gidorah is actually meant to be different. If you go back and watch the extras, Michael Dougherty specifically said that every single head thinks for itself. Every single head has an individual brain, a different personality, and a different design. That's why you see Kevin acting a little bit dumb. You have the alpha acting as obviously the boss, the one that controls everything, and the other head is a little bit more chaotic, and that's okay. I'm a big fan of Gidorah. I've always said it. Gidorah and the Mutos hold a special place in my heart, and 3D printing for me has been remarkable. It's been a big journey. I love to 3D print, and I do this for my heart. I do this for a passion, and I love painting too, but I don't really offer my painting services because it is time consuming. But hopefully this clears a lot of misunderstanding.